This is our new channel. Hello, it's Tom from RV Travel and Living. We're going to talk about driving and driving the RV, and we're going to talk about this briefly. I got some comments and some emails from some people that actually asked me, how hard is it to drive a Class A or Class C RV? Class Bs are okay because either they're the van style type or a little bit larger than a van, a sprint van, things like that. So I said, well, okay, let me explain it to you. So the easiest way to look at this is this. You guys ever went down to Budget Rental or Hertz Rental to rent a box truck or a truck, and you're getting ready to move out of apartment A to move to apartment B? Or you're moving from A to B to you want to C? So you're wanting to move your things. If you can drive one of those trucks, you can drive a Class A or a Class C. Class C's are like driving a car, to be honest with you. They're like driving a car or a pickup truck. The motors in them are usually the big V10s or a Ford type motor, depending on what brand that you get. They do have some nice Chevy motors in them also. Actually, the motors in them are very good motors. And it doesn't matter if they have 150,000 or 200,000 miles on it. It's how it's taken care of during that time. If the oil is changed regularly. You know, listen, I honestly, I had a truck that, well, more than one, more than five, more than 10, that I had, and it was 200, 300,000 miles on them, and they're still running fine. I had one, honestly, I'm sorry to say, I didn't realize this, but I had one that oil never got changed in it. It was just a work truck that I used, and that thing had 500,000 miles on it, still running. Finally, one day, someone said, "You ever change oil in this thing?" I said, "You know what? I don't think I ever did." And, you know, but I checked the oil, but never changed it. I think we all get, for me at that time, it's just too many things going on in my life. But driving one is not as bad as it seems. Really, if you think about it this way, if you can drive a pickup truck, and a couple ladies asked, if you drive a pickup truck, you can pretty well drive one of these. Now, the most important thing is your mirrors and your backup mirrors and a backup camera or some type of device like that is really essential to make sure no one's behind you if you're backing up, because people sneak in on you. If you're making a turn, you're making a wide turn, say you have a fifth wheel and you're making a turn, sometimes as you're swinging out or you're swinging, someone will slide in right beside you and you don't know they're there. So you really have to have good mirrors. But really, practice is the key. Most important thing is practice. Yes, you can drive it. Some states require that you get a chauffeur's license or a particular driver's license just for driving the bigger trucks. Depending on what state you live in, some don't really worry about it. Where I lived in Florida, we didn't have to worry about it. So I personally, my business I had a 24-foot box truck. So it was with a big old bumper on it, big old thing. And it was never really a problem driving that. So it was easy for me to drive a Class A or even a Class C. My Class A was like driving a bus. It really was. It was just like driving a big bus. But to me, it handled better than my car did, or my truck, or my van. It just handles better. The most important thing is cure the blind spots. Make sure the blind spots are covered. If you're making a right, make sure you have the mirrors, appropriate mirrors, even if you have to attach additional mirrors on your mirror setup to give you the view that you need so you can make the turns correctly. You want to always make sure that you double check before your blind spots to make sure no one's there. And it's scary. If you have to stay in the right lane, stay in the right lane. You know what I'm saying? If you have to stay in the left lane, you're going to make a left. Stay in the left lane if you're that nervous about it. Now, towing something's a different issue. You do have a lot of power in those trucks, and they will tow it. You just have to make sure you have the towing capacity, and it meets or exceeds the towing capacity. And you can haul a car on those, and it's not a problem. A Class A or even a Class C, no worries about that. Or even a lot of the Class Bs have them because they have the big motors in them. But it's like anything else. It's just take the time, spend the time to learn your vehicle and learn to drive and learn the turns. A lot of them won't have a good turning radius, and so you'll have to turn 2 or 3 times. But remember, if you have a car behind there, or you're towing something, or even a fifth wheel, you better make sure. Even if you have to have your husband and or your wife or your child help you with the traffic or things like that. If you're backing in somewhere or something like that, you should always have a spotter, no matter what. I don't care if you're an expert driver, have a spotter. I don't care if you pulled it in 500 times before and never had a problem. Get a spotter to help you along, and make sure you have your windows down so you can hear them, and make sure you do it right. Because what happens is it's just that one tree limb or the one thing that you can't see is going to get in your way always. It's usually a tree limb or a branch or something like that. And if you take the time to scope it out before you do it, what I used to do is park it before I pull in. Okay, the pad is okay, or the drive is okay, the drive or asphalt or the dirt is okay. It's fairly even. If I needed to shove some dirt around to make it even, because I didn't have levelers on it. They do have automatic levers on a lot of these, levelers to level, so you're not sleeping in bed backwards, or you're going forwards, or you're going side to side. But the way to solve that, they have levelers you can actually buy. It's basically blocks. You just drive up on these blocks and you can level it that way. And a lot of them have a level gauge on to let you know what you need to do. But honestly, most of the time you just shove some dirt or things like that in that area. Make sure you take one of those little plastic shovel or something, or a shovel, to move around some stuff. If that does not solve the problem, and practice, still need to do it. I think that what you need to do, they do have classes that you can do that with. You can go to class and learn how to drive. Their actual have an RV set in there, and they do have classes available for that. But the most important thing is, if you have an RV, make sure you drive it first. Drive it in a big parking lot. I don't care if you have to go somewhere, maybe Walmart or Kmart or an old Winn-Dixie that's nothing there, and drive it around there. The practice, and that's really the easiest thing. Licensing depends on the state. You have to check with your local state, because I got people that live in California and Arizona, all the way up to New York and Minnesota and Idaho, and so it varies where those states. I don't know the laws in those states, so I can't help you. I can only help you in the states that I've lived, because if I lived in, say, Tennessee, and I got a license in Tennessee, and it's okay for me to drive it, I'm not going to get a license if I'm in Texas. I just the same license because I'm just passing through, right? So thank you so much for watching. I want to thank everybody for always watching my channels, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time today. God bless, and I'll see you guys next time.